Nobody should classify this as war. It is combat operations.
I wouldn't call this a war as much as I'd call it a conflict that...
The president hasn't asked us to declare war yet, but they have declared war on us.
Do you consider it a war?
It's a significant military operation.
Strategic strikes are not war.
They have declared war on us.
Are we at war or not? You just heard a rapid-fire montage of our elected officials contradict each other in real time. And here's why that matters. Whether they say the word or not, you're already paying for it. Welcome to Partisan Pulse. I'm going to show you exactly where this breakdown happens and why it matters more than ever to your wallet and your future.
You've got the executive branch, the Secretary of State, the President, and others saying it's a war, and members of Congress saying it's not a war. Why are they saying that? They're saying that because they know, because they took a passing glance at the United States Constitution before they promised to uphold and support it, that the Constitution is very clear. The fact that you don't call it a war does not do away with the fact that you are brutally abnegating on your constitutional responsibility, in the context of billions of dollars of taxpayer money being spent, in the context of gasoline prices already up almost $0.25 a gallon. It is the Duma, because whatever it is that the dear leader, Donald Trump, wants is what the Republicans here in the Congress are going to deliver.
There it is. An elected congressman, a Republican, openly admitting his own party is behaving like a rubber stamp for Donald Trump. Not debate, not oversight, just approval. And that's where this gets dangerous. Because while they argue about words, gas prices are rising, billions are being spent, and you're funding it.
When you're talking about Iran, this is an issue where the party is much more hawkish. They're much more on the president's side. But I don't necessarily think that that means the party is sanguine about where this is headed right now. And you saw that in some of the comments from members who wound up voting against this measure. You know, the moderates like Susan Collins, Todd Young from Indiana, they basically said, I don't want to check the president on this right now, but that doesn't mean they don't have concerns about where this could be headed.
And it's probably because some of the polling. When I look at the poll that we did earlier this week, the opinion of the U.S. airstrikes against Iran among U.S. adults, right now it's 59% disapprove. Also, when we break that down by sort of Republicans, independents, Democrats, as always, I tend to look at the independence number and I see that disapproval number at 68%. So they do have to answer to constituents soon.
Nearly 70% of independents disapprove of these airstrikes against Iran. That's the middle of the country, and they're not buying it. Politicians ignore numbers like that at their peril, especially with elections looming. This is where it gets serious, because while they play semantic games in Washington, the American public is seeing through the smoke and mirrors. They understand that operations and conflicts still cost lives and drain our national treasury. They're connecting the dots between these endless engagements and the economic struggles right here at home. Your voice, backed by these numbers, is their biggest threat.
Every strike, every military escalation, every headline is a distraction. It pulls our attention overseas from the urgent economic struggles that Americans face at home.
I understand it's not a popular war in America because, usually people do not know the intricacies of the war, and they also compare it to previous and other wars. This is a unique war.
Wait, what? Did he just say Americans don't understand? That's not explanation. That's dismissal. If this kind of breakdown matters to you, this is exactly what we do here at Partisan Pulse.
With this vote, everybody who votes no on this, separate from the politics, is basically saying we are willing to go cede that congressional power. And that strikes me as a little bit strange because it's not something in the Senate they usually want to do, which is give up their own capacity and power. That is their one lever here.
Although if people look at the last couple of months, whether it's tariffs, whether it's a variety of things, it does not seem this is a Congress that is interested in taking back its power.
So call it whatever you want, operation, conflict, strategy. If it costs like a war, you're paying for it like a war. If you're tired of being told what to think, tired of paying for undeclared wars, then hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to Partisan Pulse for more unvarnished truth. Let's keep holding them accountable.